Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 29 of Enigmatica 2 Expert, where we have creative fluids and thus we are playing a slightly different game than usual. First of all, I didn't want you to actually get taken away. Let's get rid of that and give me one level. Oh, I have a lot of levels. Put that EXP in here, please. You know, let me do that? No? Alright, hold on. There we go. That is filling this thing up with maximum EXP every tick, and each time I hit this button, I withdraw 2 billion experience, millibuckets worth of experience, until I'm at whatever this number. This is apparently the most EXP I'm allowed to hold on my person. So, yeah, at this point we now have a, practically speaking, infinite amount of experience. We could probably tank the Chaos Dragon with this, if it became necessary. In other news, with strange and fun things we are doing with creatives, we have a creative gas tank powering our fusion reactor now. So by pumping DT fuel directly into the reactor, we can now overcome the maximum injection rate, which is set here, of 98. We can go up to however fast we can extract from the gas tank and insert into the reactor. And that is currently costing us to produce 30 million RF a tick, at a reactor that is currently at a temperature of 22.5 gigakelvin, so billion Kelvin. That is 22.5 billion degrees Celsius, which, if my Big Bang theory is correct, I believe is estimated to be the temperature of the universe about 1 second after its creation. That's hot. So anyways, now that we're playing this very degenerative game of make stuff with creative fluids or creative gases, let's tackle the ultimate challenge, and that is the creative vending upgrade. So looking in here, most of the stuff we can already make. In fact, let me put in the recipe for these. Like, most of the stuff I can make even without creative fluids, but having creative fluids will help. So like, let me put in the recipe for the 4 of these storage cells and just see if we can request them. All right, looks like Past Jimmy has already done that. So if I just request 4 of these, bam, we can do it. Not a single item in here is made creatively, right? We just have the stuff. Hit the go button, give it 2 minutes to craft, and that's done. So as we can see, most of the stuff in here isn't that difficult. Like I have plenty of Angelcite, Bentonite, whatever left over. What I really need, though, is to make infinity ingots. Really, I need to make an infinity ingot, because if I make one, we can then melt it down, right? Melt it, and then cast that into actual, like, the second ingot, and the third ingot, and the fourth ingot, etc., because we have creative fluids. So we have to make a single infinity ingot to make all of this stuff. Also, once we get the creative vending upgrade, we have creative items. That does also make things slightly easier. Other stuff in here that we need, so it's all the 4 creatives. I've already made those. 2 tier 6 solars. This requires a few things that we have to craft. This requires us to go up to chaotic tier fusion crafting, yada yada yada. Nothing that is very difficult compared to the ingot. So, infinity ingot uses, I think I came to, it was 13, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2, 10, 11. Yeah, so it uses 11 infinity catalysts, 2 ultimate singularities, and generally speaking, these are just made from a lot of the singularities. So let's start by making singularities. There are 39, I believe, excluding the ultimate singularity. Let's see, I think these are rows of 11. So 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 37. Are these? I don't know. There's some number of singularities, and we have to make just about all of them. The infinity catalyst technically doesn't use every single singularity of the 39-ish. It uses, 7 by 4 minus 1, 7, 28, 27 of them. But we may as well just set up automation to make... there's a couple ways we can approach this, actually. We can either set up automation to make these singularities, or we can just craft, like, the however many we need for most of them, not quite on demand, but in a batch, right? Like, iron uses... Say we need 13 of these. 13 times 100,000 or times 10,000 is 130,000. maybe we just have 130,000 iron. We can just make those 13 ingots and not have to worry about it again, or those 13 singularities and not have to worry about it again. Let's do that. I'm going to make 13,000, or I'm going to set up a way that we can easily pull out, let's call it 14,000 of any given item to make singularities for. It's nice to have the 14th one so that you can use that extra one to make creative copies of it later. For this, I'm going to lie to the enemy system a little bit. I'm going to tell that we can, let's keep that cobble honest. We can make 64 cobblestone with 64 pieces of iron. Technically, you can say the recipe is 1-to-1 as well, or technically any ratio, because remember, we're lying here. When you lie, you get to tell as big a lie as you like. That is your prerogative. The advantages of lying. So anyways, I also need to power this quantum compressor somehow. So I want a flux point. Oh goody, these are easy to make. I should just make a whole bunch. Power you. Let's see. Yes, pick that network. Disable limit. Are you powered? Good. We put the catalyst in, and then all we have to do is go order cobble and so give me was it 14? No, 140,000. Right? 140,000 cobble is made from 140,000 iron. And that's how we convince the ME system to shove 140,000 pieces of iron into this quantum compressor. And look, there we go. Number 1. And then it's working on number 2 while it crafts. And the system is, quantum compressor is way too slow. But this will make us 14 pieces of iron singularities over the course of the next, minute or two. And then when it's done, I just have to cancel the craft because, spoiler alert, I'm not going to give it 140,000 pieces of cobblestone back. But by lying to it, we convinced it to give us 140,000 pieces of iron exactly where we want it. Then I can take this recipe out, and for the next singularity, so let's see, I skipped coal for a reason. We don't have enough coal blocks for me to ask for 140,000 pieces of coal right now. So we'll have to get back to, I'm going to pin it. We're going to have to get back to some of these. But like, do I have 140,000 lapis blocks? Probably not. No, for the same reason, we're going to have to get back to that one. But for all the other ones, like redstone, maybe I should have increased the size of my buffer a little bit. Oh well, we'll make these with creative fluids. Low stuff? Dang it. Probably don't have 140. Come on, Jimmy. One of these is going to work eventually. Gold. I know we can do this one. Right? Yeah, gold we have 140,000 of. So we can take that recipe out and say gold makes cobblestone, and then request the gold one next. In case it wasn't obvious, the reason why you can't just request singularities like this is because if you encode this recipe, right, you can't possibly put 10,000 items in the left side here. There's simply not enough room. So because of that, we have to do our lies and deceit. So there's iron. Cancel that. I only have one crafting CPU that is large enough to handle this many items. So I have to request them one at a time. So yeah, I'd say of the 49, there's about, or wait, how many, did I say 40? How many singularities were there? I don't know. Of however many there are, I'd say about 2/3 of them we can make this way. I've encoded recipes for all of the singularities we can make this way, and it turns out my estimate of 2/3 is probably a little bit high. I think it's about closer to half of the singularities we can craft this way. The rest of them are pinned here. So, for the rest of these, at least for now, it's just if I make more blocks of coal, we can craft more singularities with them. So what I'm going to do is set up a system that for almost all of these, they have like a liquid version. So I think lapis has a liquid block version, or like a dust version somewhere. But anyways, hold on, am I crazy? Do you not have a dust version? Solid ingot former. There we go. Ingot former can make pieces of it, and then we can turn this into blocks. So I'm gonna set up something that takes a tank of coal and turns it into blocks, the tank of lapis that turns it into block, a tank of redstone and turns it into blocks, yada yada yada. And then every 5 minutes or so, I'm gonna come back here, cycle the next recipe in, and request the next type of singularity. This set of drawers represents all the stuff that I didn't already have previously fully automated. So most of them are alloys of some sort. Some are just like the blocks that I didn't have enough of, like glowstone, nether quartz, redstone. Let me show you how I'm making them. So for the stuff that needs to be cast into blocks, the majority of it is done with the smart output, just because that's the easiest way to cast into blocks. Some things like lapis can only be like there's not a recipe for liquid to blocks, so I go liquid to ingots and then ingots to blocks. And you should not be in here. That was I probably misconfigured a conduit at one point that resulted in that being placed in there. Same for you. You shouldn't be in here. Anyways, so yeah, lapis becomes individual pieces and then we compact it into blocks. I'm choosing to do that instead of store it in compacting drawers because a fully upgraded compacting drawer, right, doesn't quite hold the 140,000 items I need. And then the majority of things are literally just cast into ingots, store as ingots. A couple slight exceptions. So flux electrum is made in a fluid infuser. I siphon some of the electrum gets stored, some of it gets turned into fluids. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. A magnesium diboride is a alloy smelter recipe, but I have an infinite supply of magnesium and boron, so it doesn't really matter. There's no fluid version, so we make do. And then the majority are just ingot formers as we get near the end. Glowstone needs that ingot former. And the last one is Fluix Crystal, where I'm taking my charged Certus, enriching it to get 4 each, and then combining that with redstone and nether quartz, which get provided from the ME system, to make Fluix Crystals. And that makes all of our singularities are being made, or at least all the materials for the singularities are being made. So while I was doing that, every now and then I came here, hit this with a time in a bottle a few times, and accidentally made aluminum singularities twice. So I'm going to be here a little while to make the rest of these. If I'm like not distracted by other stuff, they take about a minute each. That's just the maximum rate I can craft because these things, they only have I think a 10 million internal buffer. So I can't tick accelerate them too much, otherwise the internal buffer runs out. At which point it doesn't matter that I'm tick accelerating it more. It doesn't actually make it any faster. I forgot about flux crystals earlier, so I added another machine to make flux crystals. And again, the diamonds just come out of the ME system because we have enough diamonds to fill this entire drawer with flux crystals. Okay, so it's going to take this system, depending on the item, up to, like, some of these we probably already have enough of, like Enderium. Let me double check that. Enderium, 46,000. So we almost 5 singularities, but this only goes into the ultimate singularity, so we only need 2 of them. So, like, technically Enderium is done. But some of these slower ones, like glowstone, because they're basically the ones that are made in the smart output are slower, because the smart output takes like 4 ticks to do work, whereas the ingot former with enough upgrades does 1 piece of work a tick. But that's neither here or there. This will take it a couple of hours, I think, total to make enough of certain things. So we'll leave that be. In the meantime, I set up a second compressor so I can work on 2 singularities in parallel, because I just have to request the stuff and then let the ME system do the work. So while all that works, while all that goes on, then let's see about making more neutronium ingots. So neutronium, we need. Well, hold on. There's a chance we just have enough. Is 18 enough neutronium to finish a pack with? We don't absolutely, or we need a tier 6 ingot of some sort for creative essence, but it doesn't have to be neutronium. It can be, any of them. So how much neutronium goes into you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18. No, we're 6 ingots short. So we may as well make the neutronium seed then. That'll need a seed, a crux, and that's it. Okay, so tier 6 seed. Oh, it's made from the tier 5 crafting seed. That's convenient. I thought because there is a tier 6 crafting seed. It has a very obnoxious recipe because I guess it's not that obnoxious. We have sewage, but I guess the tier. I think that's a bug that Neutronium uses a tier 5 crafting seed, but you know what? I'm gonna take advantage of it. This can quite easily be made. So let's go and make some of it. I'm a little bit unsure if this plant can be grown in garden closures, just because it it uses a crux, but I guess we'll find out in just a second. So anyways, the crux is something that, like, instead of being planted on dirt, I think it's planted on the crux, or maybe it's planted one block under the crux. Yeah, so it's plant farmland crux. Some of the super powerful, like the tier 6 seeds, require it for, I guess, balance reasons. No big deal. So if I grab 4 more of these, thank you, we should be able to make the seed do the thing. And is there... we need another star, if you insist. So this will give us a, once we get it growing though, it'll give us a steady supply of supremium, even if I just have to or of neutronium, even if I just have to plant it in a conventional farm with a single crop. It looks like we can grow them in cloches, just plant them directly on the crux. That's convenient because, I mean, we just don't have to build a farm for a single seed. I think these are 9 essences make 3 nuggets, so it takes 27 to make an ingot, but in the couple hours we need to just make other stuff before we need our neutronium, we will have plenty of ingots by then. Let's continue to work on other things that we'll need while more background crafting happens. So last episode I started printing chaos shards, and they've been printing a while. This is way more than enough chaos shards to complete the pack, but I think we need some of these to upgrade our fusion injectors. No, we don't. How do we make chaotic to fusion injectors? Oh yeah, we do. They're used in the chaotic core. Alright, the other thing we need are dragon eggs. So how do I want to go about making this? I guess dragon egg seeds? These don't use... these need dragon scales. They drop from ender dragons. I've been told, or I mean, like the one ender dragon I tried to kill didn't drop any though. I need a lot of dragon eggs. Even this recipe requires dragon scales. Let's go try killing another ender dragon, see if it drops an egg, maybe? Alright, dragon, I'm going to need either an egg or a scale from you. One or the other will do. If you give me enough scales, I can... we don't have scales, right? No wireless range. I guess I could also make the infinite range wireless tablet at some point, but yeah, if we get enough scales, we can just make the seed and bypass the need for eggs as well. Friendly dragon here is kind enough to die, and come on, spawn. Give me an egg. It's also been a little bit laggy this whole time. I think that it's crafting related lag. My TPS is fine, but I think it's likely applied to logistics crafting lag. Anyways, he didn't drop any items, so I mean besides the heart. And there's the experience. Yeah, there's no egg. Hello? Where's my dragon eggs? I'm gonna run around a bit here, make sure he... oh wait, here's the drops. Okay, there are dragon scales. We dropped 8 scales, very good. I guess we can just make do and craft the egg then. Or craft the seed. This tier 6 seed actually uses a tier 6 crafting seed, so we have to craft it with sewage. I don't know why the best seed has to be made with sewage, but it does. This seed requires a different constellation to attune to, so I had to attune a crystal to a Avitas, which is nice because actually I looked at our essence supply, and all my essence, this Infernium essence, came from our mob farm, and the supremium that I have comes from the few withers that I just directly killed. But that supply is about to run dry, and we actually need a little bit of creative essence, and we don't quite have enough stuff to make this. This is what, 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 blocks of Insanium essence per, and I believe we need like 4 of them. So if I were to try to order 24 Insanium essence blocks, I think we run way short. So we're gonna also have to set up an essence farm of some sort. For that, having access to the Avitas ritual will help. We can grow essences in the garden closures, but it'll take it way too long to make 21,000 blocks. My plan for growing the seeds very fast involves another astral sorcery ritual. Specifically, I want a Avitas ritual modified by Alteria. So Avitas makes plants grow, as we can check in the book here. Ritual effects, yada yada yada. Nearby crops flourish and grow at an accelerated rate. While the Alteria modifier, it drawing in available resources can result in fueling increased focus. What this means in regular words is that it makes the radius a lot smaller, the radius of the effect, but it makes the magnitude a lot higher. So I have a attuned celestial crystal here. I had two of these, but I turned one of them into a celestial collector crystal that has the same attunements. That's floating up there, shining its light through a lens because I somehow built it in a way that I managed to obstruct the line of sight. Whoopsies. Anyways, that sends the effects to this ritual pedestal, and standing around here we get regen 3. I actually think we get regen 3 everywhere because of our environment controller, but this especially gives us regen 3. Now, its radius is extremely small. I think it has like a 1 block radius of its effect. So, to actually put the effect somewhere I want it, I use a ritual anchor to send the ritual over to here. So now the effects are centered around the ritual anchor, and we can see already that crop grew pretty darn fast. And each time we harvest it, we get 5 essences. I think if we break the crop, and with this is modified by fortune, we have like a 5% chance to get an extra seed. So I can do this a little bit to get more seeds. But yeah, right now getting 5 per couple seconds, that's not, I guess we don't even have to break it, we can just right click it. But getting a couple seeds per second like this, it's not bad per se, but we could do better, right? So let's continue stacking bonuses, because when it comes to plants, I love stacking bonuses. For reference, this is how fast the seeds grow when they are without, like, with just the ritual, which is, not bad, right? This is what it's at with all the growth bonuses I've stacked on it. So let me show you what bonuses I have here. I have a stack of greenhouse glass going up, and I punched a hole in the glass above this just in case it matters. I've read that recently greenhouse glass was nerfed to only matter with one piece, but I don't know. It's cheap enough, so I just made it made greenhouse glass that stack with itself. I'm tempted to believe it because I tried it with one and I tried it with the whole stack, and it feels about the same speed. But whatever, it's easy enough to make. Second of all, there's a stack of growth accelerators going all the way down to the bedrock. So there's like 60-ish pieces. The maximum effect is 64, but you need a dirt block here, so I guess 63. But we're like a little bit too high. We're at Y level 63, so I lose out on 1 growth accelerator. Oh well. And lastly, I have the Blood Magic Ritual of the Green Grove running here, which gives a localized growth boost effect to the blocks immediately above it. So as a result, this thing grows quite fast. All I need to do now is harvest it. We unfortunately can't stack the Ritual of the Green Grove with anything that requires a crux, because it's very position sensitive. It grows the blocks with 1 block in between above the ritual stones, and those, the block where the ritual stone is at is where the crux would like to go. So anyways, I don't actually have enough essence to make another stack of growth accelerators. In fact, I use almost every piece of essence I had to my name to make this. 377 left. So, I think I'm just going to focus on this, harvesting this one. And I think what I'll do to harvest it is just get a mechanical user to click with this, the hoe. Greenhouse glass also doesn't work at night, so we have to sleep. But I'll get a mechanical user to click with the hoe because that AoE harvests, and that'll be able to get us all of the other plants. I'm going to first get enough to actually surround this thing, get all 9 slots, or I guess 8. Maybe I can move the ritual anchor up a block. I'm going to try that so I can get all 9 slots planted with seeds. Turns out the radius of this ritual is a bit bigger than I thought. It's 4 block radius, or 9 by 9 total. So one of the blocks is clipped because it interferes with the ritual, but whatever. We get a lot of room to plant crops. So only the ones that are like right in the middle are actually affected by the the uh, that was on vein mine mode. Hear me? That was silly. This is why you don't leave your atomic disassembler on vein mine mode when you are not vein mining. Oh, all right. Well, at least let me fix that before anything else. All right, good as new. Anyways, I was saying that the only some of the plants are affected by like the all the growth bonuses from the ritual and whatnot, but everything gets the astral sorcery ritual and everything gets greenhouse glass. So it still grows reasonably quick. And this does also yield extra seeds over time. So once this entire field gets set up, it'll I think it'll be harvesting almost all the time, resulting in us getting Infernium relatively quickly. Dragon Egg seed was growing the whole time we were setting up that farm, and I suspect we have enough. Yeah, only need 270 essence to make 10 chaotic injectors. I've pre-crafted the chaos cores too because they'll take a little while, but this should start crafting those right on up, and then we can upgrade our fusion injectors from draconic tier to chaotic tier. Not only does that unlock a few more recipes, like how do I do this? There's only a handful that are chaotic tier only. The stabilizer core, I think that's about it. The rest of these that say chaotic are like upgrades to gear that we're not going to ever do. So yeah, it doesn't really unlock. I mean, it unlocks a couple recipes, but the biggest thing is it's just a faster processing system than the draconic tier ones. So while that crafts, let's see, what else can we work on? I guess let's also work on making the tier 6 solars for that go into this, right? We need 2 tier 6 solar controllers. So I have mats up to tier 5 right here. And I think the only thing we need to do well, it's not the only thing. The tier 5 to tier 6 is a bit of a step, but most of this is stuff we already have. I think it's a couple singularities, that's no big deal, and 8 of these high voltage solars. These are still kind of a pain to make just because, I mean, it's a pain to make because of choices I made, like iron plates. I still, I mean, I guess if we use this recipe, I can print, I don't know. It involves a lot of plate making. Yeah, let's swap to this recipe and print basic machine casings instead. Crafting our generators with the recipe I'm currently using uses 8 iron plates each, and plates craft on demand pretty quick, right? 1 per tick, but 1 per tick is great when you don't need 32,000 of them. Using this recipe lets us just pre-print the basic machine casings instead. Thank you for your service, draconic fusion injectors. It's time to be upgraded. Just remember when you upgrade that you do have to set them back into single item mode, or you'll break every single piece of your automation. I feel like I've forgotten to switch them to single item mode every single time I've upgraded this pack. Like the first time I request something, that is not at all where I wanted you to go. The first time I've requested something after upgrading the injectors, I've always gotten, like it's always gotten broken because I forgot to toggle single item mode back on. But not this time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on... Wait, no. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me more than twice, really shame on me. These draconic reactors are fun to use, not terribly useful, because they produce like 2 million RF net output. And they have the risk of catastrophic failure. So it's like, for 2 million RF, not worth the trouble. Probably finish encoding the recipes before I try to request the items too, huh? It can be a little hard to tell without a point of reference, but now that these are chaotic here, all my fusion crafting is like 3 times as fast. I did notice that this one charges much faster than the other ones. I think it's because it's charging from 3 sides. They probably have a per side limitation, but most of our crafting time is in the, not like the charging step, but rather the crafting step, which is, you know, I could plug the other crafters in on more sides for a similar effect, but I think the total of crafting time reduction from that would not be terribly high. Anyways, as these craft, I've also been in the background every now and then starting up another set of singularities. That's really what I've been doing. all video on and off. But yeah, we're making good progress now. There's, let's see, the invar ones I just started, so I can this pattern away and then, oopsies, speed up that guy. I have so much time in my time in a bottle that I'm just like dumping it. And then queue up the next one. So put the next pattern in there and order 140,000 sand. Fusion crafting has finished for the reactor stuff, so let's make our 2 tier 6 solars. These actually produce a tremendous amount of energy if we needed it, but we don't. So I'm not going to use them to make energy. I'm just going to set them aside for the creatives. I guess we can let you aside down here. This chest, I think, will be the creative vending stuff. So with that, why don't we wrap up here for today? It'll be sometime until I have all of these singularities. There's a few that I'm crafting relatively slowly, like quartz. I only have, oh no, I basically have enough quartz, but flux crystal, I only have 90,000 of the, yeah, I need all 130,000 of it. So like that's going to take another 3-4, maybe, yeah, somewhere between 2 to 4 more hours to craft. So why don't we wrap up here for today? We'll come back next time when we have all the singularity mats. I might just craft all the singularities except like the flux one after I stop recording here. But then we'll be back next time to put everything together into the creative vending upgrade. There are still a few surprises left in here, I know. Like, for some reason, this thing has me visiting the Twilight Forest. And I think this is actually a pack where I might try and complete the entirety of the Bragging Rights questline, because once we get creative items, most of this is not that bad. That's like only kind of true, because even with creative items, like to make the Infinity helmet, you still have to make your one Draconic helmet. And while creative items make this stuff easier, it doesn't really help you make the Wyvern helm. Because, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. But, yeah, that's a problem for tomorrow. So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.